Okay, so first up today, we got a story. This one's on Crypto Coin News, but the same story has been across the board. Zero Hedge wrote a good article on the piece as well, but let's just have a look at this one. Basically, we've got Bitcoin as a national currency could see economies collapse, and that is from a China central bank advisor. This guy is an idiot. So let's have a look at what he says. He goes on, basically he's a big fan of it and being able to print more and more money. One thing he says, okay, Bitcoin will reach its ceiling of 21 million coins in 2140. Yes, that's estimate is correct. If it is accepted as a standard money, that will inevitably lead to deflation and constrain economic growth. Yes, it will lead to deflation. Will it lead to economic growth? I think not. I'll actually have a $5 bet with you, Mr. Shen. Shen is your name. That the first countries that actually adopt Bitcoin or crypto, or really any currency that is actually ruled by an algorithm that will constrain the supply, any country that does that will probably become one of the most wealthy countries in history. So $5 bet to you, Mr. Shen. Let's move on. Germany's fast food delivery. They've got over 11,000 restaurants and they now accept Bitcoin. Fantastic. There are more of these stories coming out every week. More and more people are adopting this. And I'm not saying that it's only Bitcoin. Obviously, if these companies have the infrastructure to accept Bitcoin, it's only a hop, step, and a jump to be able to accept Litecoin, Ethereum, and really all the rest. So fantastic news there. Obviously, everything's onward and upward. Here is a story just about building tools for institutional investors to be able to get into the crypto game. So we had, the Winklevi had a crack at the ETF a couple of months ago, hasn't been approved. This is not an ETF, but it's basically building products that traders can use, and they're called options. If you're not familiar with options, it basically you've got calls and puts. Won't go into too much of it, but basically it's a leverage product. If it goes up, it goes up by a lot, and if it goes down by a lot. And institutional traders use those products to kind of hedge their positions. So if we have more tools available to institutional traders that they use in their everyday world in the legacy financial system, obviously, it's great for the Bitcoin ecosystem. So that's great news there. Moving on again, here we've got prolific stock picker predicts Bitcoin to hit $50,000 within a decade. So this is definitely not the first, prediction of Bitcoin going to tens of thousands of dollars and higher. But this guy who is talking about, his name's Ronnie Moas, and he's got a pretty good track record. He is in the in the mainstream financial market, posts on Bloomberg and all that kind of jazz. And having a look at his actual his performance. So who is he? Well, basically he writes a blog and a newsletter, and he sells his research to people who buy and sell his recommendations. Okay, so he was actually ranked #1 versus almost 4,000 other analysts between 2009 and 2016. So he's not a nobody. It's pretty good. He's done pretty well, and the reason it's good for Bitcoin is because he's not in the Bitcoin world. Us crazy Bitcoiners and crypto people, we can say things, we say it's going to go to 1 million, blah, 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 and it just always falls on deaf ears. But when people who actually do have a strong track record in the existing financial markets come out and say this, it makes other people's ears pick up and think, oh, well, maybe there's something here. And obviously, as these guys start getting the results and start showing that they're actually getting more and more returns, it's a snowball effect where other funds and other providers have to offer this service to their clients. Otherwise, the clients are going to go, well, these guys are getting better returns, I'm going to go over there. All right, so I've spoken about this before. I'll be speaking about it again. It's just one of the network effects that's going to be happening in this entire area. Very exciting. Moving on. Let's have a look at the market. So talking about all these wonderful things that's happening in crypto world, today is a sea of red, which is pretty funny. But so literally everything is down. There is only one coin that's up over the last 24 hours, and that's Vericoin, and it's up 0.5%. So the alts are getting absolutely smashed today. And let's have a look at Bitcoin as well. So Bitcoin is in a situation where it's basically been consolidating for the last month. So we had high, low, and then it's been inching together, that having a closer and closer trading range. This kind of triangle shape on the trading side of things right here has been shown again and again and again in all markets, but particularly in Bitcoin. And basically what happens, it coils up like a spring and then it explodes in one direction or the other. Don't know which way it's going to be going, but if we actually break, see I've got the triangle drawn here, I've got some lines of support and resistance here. If we can break above around 26.25, I will be very long, and if we do break underneath around 23.70, I will be going short. Obviously only a small percentage of what I'm trading with. Basically, I'm basically holding most of my funds in crypto, just long short, not leverage at all. I'm not your financial advisor. This is not financial advice, blah, blah, blah. But look, obviously we are now only around 3 weeks away from the coming fork, which is going to be happening. It looks like we've got around 85% consensus for SegWit 2x, which is great, but it's just so much uncertainty because what's happening now is, okay, now we're going to be getting SegWit regardless, but now it's whether the the core team or people who are against the 2x part of SegWit 2x actually go along with the game. So we're definitely not out of the woods, even though we've had this intention to be signaling to be going down this route. But stay tuned, I will keep you updated every step of the way. If you're not sure about this, I do have another video. You can go have a look at it. I'll leave it in the description below about number one, what is this fork that's coming up? Number two, how to protect yourself in it, and also number three, how you can control your private keys, which gives you the most control with anything that actually happens. So make sure you are familiar with those. But look, if you're not sure and you just want to be sitting out of the market until this kind of tumultuous time is ended, there are other options. At the moment, you can get around 10% or 10 to 12% annualized on Bitfinex by lending your money out to people on Bitfinex who want to be using that money for their trading. So I'll leave a link in the description below for there. That'll also give you savings off trading fees as well, which is handy. And you can also have a look at one broker which allows you to trade the financial markets using Bitcoin, where you can trade Forex and commodities and stocks and all that kind of thing. So there you go. That's pretty much the wrap up today. Actually, one thing I will have a look at, just starting to have a look, a lot of people are talking about the ICOs. My view is the vast majority of these aren't going to be massively successful. There are going to be some that hit an absolute home run, but this is a website called tokenmarket.net, and it gives you basically the ICO calendar. So it shows you what's coming up, what's happened, how much they raised, blah, and all that kind of stuff. So having a look over the next couple of days, we've got ATB coin, which is launching in a couple of days. I'm not going to go through all of these, but I'll give you the link so you can actually go and follow on if you do have interest. One there in 3 days. Bear with me for 1 second, just to make sure this is coming up. 17 in 2 days. So Insurex in 2 days. Dent, which actually has had a lot of talk about it. That's coming up in 4 days. That's allowing people to actually buy your internet, your data, your streaming data, when you can just buy it with a crypto coin. So that's actually pretty exciting. Anyway, that's all I got for today. If you did like these videos, please like and subscribe. Any questions, please let me know. And we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers.